Old Fashioned Football on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code OFFSGPN to score up to $1,000 in bonus cash. We're also brought to you by Rhythm, the leader in data-driven picks and props. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
Hey, what's up? This is Sam Acho, and you're listening to Old Fashioned Football.
Old-fashioned football.
You make this deal right now, you pancake eating mother.
All right, deal.
Old-fashioned football.
Welcome to Old Fashioned Football. If you're wondering who you listen to, this is Jmark. You can find me in the X at Jmark Football. And if you're wondering who us is, that's at Old Fashioned FB. Before I keep going to talk about the NFL Division Championships and news and whiskey and all that good stuff that we love, I've got to introduce my co-host on the pod and in life. You can find her on the X at the Mark. What's popping?
Poppin'?
No, just trying to be a little hip over here. What's popping?
No, nothing except for
nothing's popping. How you doing
vitamins,
today?
Pills, medicine.
Yeah, feeling a little under the weather.
Yeah, just really shitty.
Yeah. It seems to be going around. I guess, and the weather changes don't help. We've been like this, and then it was really cold for a while. Then it felt a little warmer. And now we're back to really cold, but it's going to warm up this weekend. So that's life in Iowa, I guess, right? I mean, you get the weather, you get the ups and downs. Cody Zeeb and I of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast, I sent him a screenshot when it was 28 below for the real feel. I sent that to him and Rod and said, Rod wishes he was us, since Cody is also in the Midwest with that cold. And Cody says, and yet we argue that we love living here and we still love it. So
it's like 1 month out of the year that is brutal.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's like the 1 month, like it's after the holidays. Like we typically, we stay busy, but like home. We don't make a lot of plans in January. We know we're going to be home. We're going to be indoors. We get projects done. But it's also like a time like we reset ourselves in January or try to. Yeah. Hopefully you don't get sick. Hopefully you don't, I don't know. I mean, have a lot going on, too much going on, but
we did finish a project this weekend. We finished our kitchen. So that was exciting. Sort of. We're almost finished. I know you have a little detailing to do, right?
Yes. Little details.
But the crown molding that sat in the garage for.
Okay, I think we've told people we were doing the crown molding on our cabinets. Like I know I've talked about it even at work to multiple like different family members, our friends about, this weekend we're going to be working on crown molding. This weekend we're like, but we had, nobody understands like the trials.
Right.
There was the weekend that we spent like getting all the angles cut, getting it all to fit perfectly. Yeah. And I didn't want to spend a lot of time like, I knew if you paint it, when you make your cuts, you're going to have like, it's just going to get chipped. It's going to get
you gotta
scratched.
It's better to do that before.
And I wanted it to look as like flawless as possible. Me being a perfectionist over here.
Sure.
And we had a paint sprayer. We bought a more expensive paint sprayer thinking that would fix the issue. I have learned I am not a spray painter. I am not like with cans or with the actual.
No, if there has to be spray paint,
it's not happening. I spent we had a weekend where we did all the cuts. This is like 2 years ago.
Right. Yeah. It was a while ago.
Like, and you like get it up and yes, it's all going to match the corners. Everything is going to be perfect. And then I started the painting process.
Can I interrupt you real quick?
Mm-hmm.
I would just like to add that if I never have to cut crown molding again, I will be happy about that because it took a lot of thought of like, okay, this one's going to be angling this way and they're compound angles. So I got to have this one going that way and that one. And this, and then I wrote a little chart like, okay, if it's a left side going this way, this is where my son needs. If it's it was a lot for my brain, anyways.
For your brain, the 22.5 angles,
22
those
and a
were
half,
your,
so many
your
degrees. Yeah.
ones you hated.
Yes.
Anyway, I did get all the trim painted once, and then I sanded it all, and that was like the redoing of it.
Yeah.
Is what delayed us, and it's such a chore to like get that sanded back down to like, because it's all like, all the
It's got
valleys
grooves
and
yeah.
So it's all hand sanding because my spray job was bumpy. It was
bumpy.
Awful. But yeah, and then I of course added like detailing with like some because of the look of our cabinets. So it wasn't just painting, and then it was like extra painting on top of it. So
yeah. Oh yeah. It took a while. I guess moral of the story is don't stop on a project just because it's functional.
Oh, anybody coming to me talking about house projects now?
Yeah.
I said like, oh yes, I completely support your decision to do this.
Yeah.
Finish it though.
Yeah.
Do not get to the last 10% because then it'll take 2 years.
Yeah.
It'll be 2 years before you come back to that. So anyway.
Yeah.
It's been a thing.
It has been a thing. And shout out to our Instagram crowd. Margie just joining. How's it going? And shout out to YouTube. Jamie on here. What up? How's it going, Jamie? Our moral of our story here that we got off on a tangent is if you start a house project, finish it.
We have a lot of unfinished house projects right now. I finished built-ins within the last year.
Yeah.
One set of built-ins.
One set.
We have no base trim in our house.
No.
You're tired. You're talking about being sick of crown molding. You're going to have a lot more cuts to do. It should be more simple. It's going to
be much easier.
Yes.
No compound angles in that. That's the thing that gets you those compound ones.
Those are only in the corner cabinets.
No, every angle for crown molding was compound because of the way it sticks up and out.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't making the cuts.
No, and they were not fun. Real quick.
That's not why we're here, though. We're not here to discuss crown molding.
That's not why we're here. We're here to talk a little NFL news, a little whiskey, and in honor of the big game from now until February 9th. That's the Super Bowl, in case you're living under a rock. 15% off of everything in the SGPN merch store with the promo code Big Game. That's BIGGAME, no spaces. And get yourself an old-fashioned football t-shirt or a hat. I love the t-shirts. I mean, they check all the boxes. Cool logo, right? Soft and bitchin'. I mean, those are the three boxes that you want in a shirt, right?
All my shirts are bitchin'.
I
don't. If it's not a bitchin' shirt, I don't want it.
Exactly. Yeah. So go over to. I mean, you can find it sg.pn/store. And again, BIGGAME, Big Game, no spaces, for 15% off of everything. So yeah, I mean, get yourself an old-fashioned football t-shirt. But we're here to talk about the Final Four. I know that's more of a March Madness term, but we're down to 4 teams.
4.
We both correctly called Bills Chiefs getting to this point.
We did.
We differ on who we're calling the win.
Yeah, we are.
So there is that. Now they've assigned the referee crew to the Super Bowl. And that referee crew, the last time they reffed a important, I guess it was AFC Championship game for the Chiefs lost. So maybe there's a turning of these tides of the refs that everybody says.
They're paid already. they paid them extra. It's like, we apparently didn't pay you enough last time.
Fair enough. We're going to give out a point update. Oh, sorry. The other side is the Eagles and the Commanders. So we got Sean Green's Eagles against our buddy Moneyline Max, Washington Commanders. I know he would say, who are the Commanders? That's going to be an interesting game.
Who are you going for?
I'm hearing Hurts has a bit of a knee soreness, which could limit his ability to run. He has not been good passing. So I think, he's had a couple games where he's been good, but recently has not been putting up those. Now, granted, when Saquon Barkley runs for over 200 yards, you don't have to pass it a lot. But I'm going for the Commanders.
You are?
I am. Okay. I know it kind of leans into the Bears drafted the wrong guy narrative because Jaden Daniels went right after Caleb Williams. But, I like mixing it up. Eagles have been successful the past couple years. Yes, the addition of Saquon Barkley is exciting. It'd be cool to get to see him in a Super Bowl after the Giants kind of treated him like shit and said, we don't need him. I bet they regret that right now. But I think I'm going for Washington.
You are?
I'm going for a Buffalo, Washington. thing.
That's what you're going for. That's
Yeah.
what you're rooting for.
Yeah.
Realistically,
Eagles probably win it. I mean, they got the
Thank
more
you.
experience.
Don't make me feel crazy over here.
Jaden Daniels has looked good
Mhm.
in these pressure spots, I guess. You would expect a rookie to kind of crack some. He has not, but yeah, we're going to go through our FFPC lineups again. You don't know how badly I'm beating. I mean, you don't know the scores, so I've
Are you
tallied
beating me
those up.
that badly?
We'll see.
No, well, I know like having Lions go all the way is screwing me over. But
Well, we both had the same line.
yeah, I
though,
guess we
so
did. That's
not a big deal.
I went tight end premium on my second.
Yes, yeah. The second one is interesting. We'll get to that.
Mhm.
We're going to talk some NFL news.
Okay.
I got some bets, and of course, what are we drinking today?
We're drinking Cody Road's 2024 Distillers Edition, which we happened upon. You happened upon it.
Yeah,
We didn't even know it was a thing.
literally stumbled in the store. No, I didn't stumble in the store.
Knocked everything off the
down except this.
It's a very expensive bill on your way out. Like, you got charged for all kinds of things that we don't even own. We don't even get to try.
This is actually a $1,200 bottle of whiskey. It's only $40 in the store, but I knocked a lot of stuff over. No, yeah, I was just kind of on a little hunt for Christmas gifts and just happened to find this, and I was like, well, that's interesting. We gotta add that to the bar. Catch up with the chat real quick. Nick Fortune says, good evening, Justin and Murr. If you need help, let me know. I can bring my hammer over too. Obviously, Nick has been here with his hammer, which is like, I don't know. I mean,
He brought this like
6-inch hammer.
Is it even 6 inches? We don't know.
Nick, is it even 6 inches? He's been asked that before.
I didn't measure it. You didn't measure it. Nobody's measured it. We don't know. No, but when that was a project last year.
Yeah, that was our window project.
No.
2 years ago.
2023. Fall of 2023. It was almost winter by the time we got it done.
Yeah.
But we replaced a really big window in our house because
we found a cheap one on Facebook is actually why we ended up doing it that
Facebook
quickly.
Marketplace.
Yes, we found a cheap Facebook Marketplace window
this
that worked.
window was going to cost
a lot because it's a big window.
Yeah, so much. But we found somebody coincidentally replacing the size of a window we needed with sliding glass patio doors or something, and we're like, yes.
And
give us that.
If you don't know anybody in the Midwest, Midwesterners love a deal. I mean, if we could save money on something, fuck yeah, we're there. So it's like, and that's part of almost every story, especially for guys. Like, oh, nice new shirt. Yeah, I got it on discount. Yeah, it was on sale. I mean, that's a story that Midwesterners always tell. But anyways, sorry, go on. You agree?
I mean, maybe.
And Nick came over mainly for another set of hands to help lift and whatnot.
This thing is so heavy.
But he
took
brought
a lot
hammer.
of hands getting it in.
Yeah, that's what she
It was
said.
up a little high too, based on where it was in the house.
Yeah, but yeah, he brought a tiny little hammer. By the way, Nick's saying he prefers the hoodie. I know we keep getting on tangents, and I love it. I'm here for it. Nick prefers the hoodie himself over the t-shirts. I like the hoodie as well. Wesley, good evening, and let's go Buffalo. That's right. Super Bowl winners, Josh Allen as the Super Bowl MVP. I'm ready for that. I'm here for it. And then my mom saying, go Bills. She's a Josh Allen fan as well. Bears fan at heart, but loves little Josh Allen. So
who doesn't?
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Real quick, let's cover these FFPC lineups. For the first one, Miranda, we won't go over who you had in it.
Okay.
Because we did that last week, but we'll go over your score and who you have left.
All right.
You have 308 points, 308.7 to be exact. And you have Josh Allen, Travis Kelce, and Saquon Barkley left. So you got 3 guys left.
I got my quarterback.
Yeah. And Saquon has been putting up like over 30 points. So now I have 349.57 points.
Okay.
I've bested you by 41 points. I don't think you can make a comeback because I have Josh Allen, Travis Kelce, Zach Ertz, and Saquon Barkley. So I have the same players
you got
as
an extra,
you plus
yeah.
one.
So I'm done. I'm toast.
You're toast.
We got the same points from here on out, aside from Zach Ertz. So
yeah.
Okay.
Let's go over our second lineups though. Go ahead and say who was on yours as I stutter.
Okay, so I went with Josh Allen. I had Jahmyr Gibbs, Saquon Barkley. I had Nico Collins, Puka Nacua, Travis Kelce. Yeah, well, then in my flex spots, I continued since it's tight end premium with 2 more tight ends with Zach Ertz and Mark Andrews.
Yeah, which we debated the Andrews versus Henry thing because I went with Henry. Their point difference was not that much. So going for the tight end premium for a guy that could potentially go on and keep getting that, it was a good call. I had Allen, Gibbs, Barkley, just like you. I also had Puka like you, but I had Terry McLaurin, Travis Kelce, Derrick Henry, and Joe Mixon. This one's a little interesting because you have 177.3 points with Allen, Kelce, Ertz, and Barkley left. We each have 4, obviously, because you pick 1 from every team. 4 go on. I have 185.1, so less than an 8-point lead with Josh Allen, Travis Kelce, Terry McLaurin, and Saquon Barkley. So
the only difference there is Ertz and
McLaurin. So if Ertz, who's getting 1.5 points per catch, outdoes McLaurin, you got a chance.
I think next year, whenever we do this again,
Yeah.
we've got to. When we come to the table and we have similar lineups or the same QB,
we got to go back.
Well, I think we have to each make a secondary or something, or one of us has to draw straws, short straw has to do a secondary lineup to be different.
Fair enough.
You can track your first one, but
track your first one.
We agreed on too many of these players.
We had a lot
here.
of the same,
but it makes sense though. I mean, the players we chose make sense, and a lot of people I think were probably choosing them.
Well, that's what we said.
So maybe we come up with a ballsy second lineup that makes sense, but is probably not what people are choosing.
And we mentioned that but it's hard to differentiate from the studs. It's hard to go away from that. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs had 35 points. Barkley had 35 points. Travis Kelce had 26 points.
Person who doesn't choose them, that's 35 points you don't have.
Right.
How do you stay away from that?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, we're going to keep talking some NFL stuff. But before we do, got to let you know we're brought to you by DraftKings and playoffs. We're talking about playoffs. You bet we are. Get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Scoring touchdowns is key to winning in the playoffs, and you can score big by betting on the DraftKings, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Are you ready to place your first bet ever? Try betting on something simple like a player to score 6. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. And let's get crazy here. I'm going to make one for you. This is a quarterback anytime touchdown parlay. Give me Josh Allen. Give me Patrick Mahomes. Give me Jalen Hurts. Give me Jaden Daniels all to score a touchdown this weekend. Parlayed together. That's a spicy 51-1. I love it. New DraftKings customers can bet $5 to get $200 bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code SGP. That's code SGP for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. When you bet just $5, only on DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours. And if you have an issue gambling
problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over, age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
All right, we are back. Better him than me. Serial checking in the chat saying that I owe him for blocking the Mike McCarthy interview for our head coach spot. Yeah, I do owe you for that. I am so happy he is not the next head coach for the Bears. When they said they were putting that interview request in, you could see me tweet it everywhere, retweeting saying no, please no, please no.
We're going to talk about that situation here.
We are. And real quick, just Nick Fortune saying it's not a problem if you keep winning. And Josiah, shout out to Josiah, addiction, more like dedication. I like where your head's at. Yeah, let's talk some NFL news.
Yeah. So obviously big news in general, but especially if you're a Bears fan, we finally have hired for the head coaching. Well, not head coaching, offensive coordinator.
No, head coaching. Yes, he was the offensive.
Well, oh my gosh. See,
you are sick. We'll forgive you.
We have hired the head coach. Yeah, we went with the Lions' former offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson.
He was my #1 pick. He and Mike Vrabel actually were my top 2. So if you want to know if I'm excited, fuck yeah, I'm excited.
I'm pumped about this too. the Lions offense, they averaged 33.1 points per game under him.
Real quick.
Yeah.
And think about the two running backs, Sonic and Knuckles, they called them, Monty and Gibbs. Jamie just saying, Roshan to the moon.
Well,
you might finally be right.
Who is that going to be?
Yeah, Roshan Johnson. You might finally be right there. He and Khalil Herbert, maybe they form that 1-2 punch. I don't know.
Instead of Swift.
Oh, sorry, Swift, not Khalil. I actually like Khalil better than Swift, but we'll forget that. Khalil's not on our team anymore.
We're signing him back.
He's a Bengal. Anyways,
no.
Continue.
So during his opening press conference as our head coach, he's already said that analytics are showing quarterback performance is the driving factor for winning games rather than being what it had been turnover ratio for years.
Yeah.
So they're going to be focusing around building around Caleb Williams. Hopefully that means investing in our offensive line, getting some working, putting some work into that.
Well,
hopefully
I saw somebody share something that said the Bears invested a lot of capital in the offensive line this offseason. And I was like, fuck too. No, they didn't. If you look at what other teams spent, no, they did not invest a lot in the offensive line. Maybe a lot of pieces let's give this guy $10 million and this has been 16 mil, which the highest offensive lineman we cut, by the way, mid-season. So don't give me this. We spent a bunch of capital on the offensive. Get out of here. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, you did early preseason, early on in this. You got into a lot of fights with people on Twitter, on X. I can't believe I did that too.
Potato.
It hasn't been Twitter for a long time already.
Right. Yeah, no, I did because everybody was saying that, the Bears were going to turn it around so well and Caleb Williams was going to be so good, which I agree with. I think he's good, but I kept saying our offensive line sucks. Oh, they're highly graded on PFF. Yeah, they're highly graded at running the ball. That's not going to help your quarterback in pass protection. But
I shouldn't say fights, debates.
We'll call it a fight. I got in a couple this week. It was fun.
Anyway, let's circle back to enough about the Bears and let's circle back to the Lions because their defensive coordinator, not their offensive coordinator and not their head coach. Their defensive Dan
Campbell is still there.
Their defensive coordinator, Aaron Glenn, was hired as the next head coach of the Jets, which is interesting because they've been so good on defense. So you would have thought maybe they were looking to improve their offense. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe they don't want to mess with their what is the word I'm looking for? Words are leaving my head.
Ochem. I don't know.
No, not Ochem. Not Ochem.
Ochem.
It very drama, reactive. What am I thinking of? The word. I'm thinking about Aaron Rodgers. They don't want to have somebody come in
and cause stuff with him.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Because I just think he just has to have things a certain way all the time around him.
I agree. I also agree this was a weird move. I thought they'd focus on offense, but I do think regardless of what they do, as long as Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback, they're not going to do well, in my opinion.
And if they brought somebody in who's more offensive minded,
maybe it would have
clashed with him. I don't know. It's just an interesting thing when you have a player who is such an the quarterback is looked at as the leader of a team. You know what I mean? And you have somebody who is
he's not a leader,
combative, who doesn't get along with others well, who is very self-centered.
He doesn't.
There is only a me in team.
His only lead is follow me. Follow me because I'm great. That's how I will lead you. Not guiding players.
No. And if you don't get on the same page as me, well, I'm going to make your life hell until you're out of here.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. That's, but yeah, I just found that interesting.
Yeah, I do too. My dad checking in saying Bears get many players at Midwest prices. So just as we were talking about, they're on bargain. It's a bargain. They're garage sale guys. And that we don't want to cause Rodgers any emotional distress.
Emotional damage.
Exactly. Now, he hasn't said he's coming back yet. He's still got to do his ayahuasca. I can't say the
something.
word.
Yes,
He's still got to do his
ayahuasca.
drug trip and be in his darkness and then figure
Does he
it out.
do that when he's in his darkness retreat? Does he do ayahuasca in the dark?
Oh, probably. I mean, why wouldn't you?
Do they
Like,
give?
what else are you
Do
going to
they
do in
do
the
that
dark?
and then shove him in a dark room for a week and let him do his thing in there?
Maybe. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is a big story, but I think the biggest story from the two we just talked about is Lions lost both
this is what I wanted
coordinators.
to talk about. The Lions being this high-powered offense this season, like just really having it together. I'm so bummed that they didn't win and keep going. I really wanted to see them get to the Super Bowl.
Get the
I don't
fuck outta
know. I
here.
did. I when it's come down to like the Bears, obviously I want Bears to be at the top of our division, but we suck right now. So NFC North, I have told you, like, we are a powerhouse in the NFL, the entire division. So it would be great if we could actually do something with it and have a team go somewhere.
I feel like I'm having a Beth Dutton moment right now. Like, get the fuck out of I love you, but get the fuck out of here with hoping the Lions would win. Get out of here.
Okay.
As a Bears fan, I will never root for the enemy in my division to win, even if I'm not in it.
I
Never.
wouldn't have rooted for the Packers. I didn't root for the Packers.
Well, rooting for the
We
Vikings or
have-
Lions is basically the same.
You
Basically.
wouldn't want
Nope.
tight end Sam Laporta out of
My dad said the
Iowa?
same thing. He said, don't you want the Iowa guys to get in the Super Bowl and win? And I said, nope, fuck the Lions. Like, no way.
Okay. Well,
Yeah. Anyways, installing 2 new coordinators could hurt the Lions.
Mhm.
Their window might have closed right there because
It's
Jared
gonna
Goff
be
might
different.
not have that many more years left. I'm
Mhm.
not saying he's old. He's still playing well.
it is an interesting
but
move,
the
but
window's
like
closing.
it's not a move that they made. Like their coordinators got promoted
I know.
to head coach because of the season that they had.
And I don't know if you saw it, but like the day Ben Johnson was hired, he posted something on social media about how excited he was and let's go Bears. And Lions fans were like, the bodies are still fresh from our loss. How can you be this pumped up for a new team already? And it's like, okay, so if you get a promotion at work, you're not pumped about it that day. Even if it's on a new team, you're leaving your old team, you're not pumped about it.
And you can't be like, oh, I just got hired, but I'm so sad about my old team that I can't show support for I can't support the new team yet.
Right? Like, what the fuck?
So mourning our loss. Like,
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know either. It's bizarre to me.
Mhm.
I get it. I get they're bitter. It's like the ex-girlfriend thing or whatever. Like
That
they
relationship
can't
is
be
over.
happy.
The second he accepted the position, he's done. He is
Yeah.
no longer a Lion. Like
Agreed.
he's done.
It's that yeah, like, oh, there's no way she could be happy with that guy. Well, they're happy. He's happy. Come on.
Okay. Let's move on. In other news, just moving on. The Jags, who were in the middle of their head coach search,
Yeah.
they fired their general manager
Yeah.
in the middle of trying to find a new head coach.
After already interviewing some people who
Yes,
thought they'd
like,
be working with that guy.
we're not talking about, oh, we're going to be interviewing. They had been interviewing.
Yeah.
And now everyone who has interviewed with them will have a different general manager.
Mhm.
Like if they get chosen. So like, I don't know. This organization, it's a mess.
It is.
I feel like it's hit a low
Mhm.
and it's going to take time for them to dig out of the hole.
Yeah,
that they're in.
don't trust an organization that's ran by a villain from Sonic the Hedgehog. I think that's the main story here. Have you seen their owner?
No.
You should look up Jaguars owner right
It's
now.
like, I'm
You'll get
trying to
what I'm
think of
saying.
The villain. Are we talking about the villain from
That Jim
Sonic
Carrey recently played.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, well.
But are we talking about, I'm thinking about the Sega days from like when I was like 10 and I had a Sega.
Uh-huh. The guy that was in the little floaty thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the weird hair and the red eyes.
with the weird mustache.
The weird mustache.
Yeah. Look him up. Just Jaguars owner. And I'll tell you, this is unfortunate, in my opinion, to career paths and success of guys like Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne, Brian Thomas. Now, I think Thomas will be fine. He's kind of a stud, but this is just, they're becoming a fadeless. You see what I mean? You're looking them up now. I wish we had a guy like Joe Rogan does. Hey, can you bring that picture up? And it could pop up here. Anyways, Fantasy football related, I'll continue with Brian Thomas. Everybody else I'm fading. Betting, I'm going to fade them. Now, in an odd turn of events, yesterday the Bucs offensive coordinator Liam Cohen agreed to a deal with the Bucs to become the highest paid coordinator and stay as their offensive coordinator. Today he's back in Jacksonville, interviewing and talking about the head coach job, even though he already agreed to the OC position. Maybe not all the T's were crossed and I's dotted. Maybe he did not put pen to paper. Like the story was, he agreed to it. He's going to be the highest paid coordinator. He's at Jacksonville.
Well, would you rather
interviewing
be
for them
the highest paid offensive coordinator
or a head coach?
Head coach,
Right.
with a head coach salary.
This is interesting to me. This is going to cause some drama between two Florida teams. I mean, I hadn't even thought about that when this popped through, but the Tampa, Jacksonville, this is going to cause some drama. It'll be. I was excited he was coming back. Baker and the boys are back, but
I really
maybe
feel
not.
like this is a stretch.
No, that is
This
totally
is
a villain. He
stretch.
doesn't have red hair, but it's still a villain. He's
Just
still.
because he has a handlebar mustache. The
Yeah.
Sonic.
He looks like a
what's
villain.
his name? What is his name even?
Dr. Eggman.
He has a crazy, unruly red mustache.
Well, this
It's
guy's
not
got
even
an
a handlebar.
unruly black
It's not even a
mustache.
handlebar. This is a stretch.
If you're in the
people's
chat,
no.
please look him up. Let me know if you're on
This
Miranda's
is-
side of saying no or my side of saying
No.
he is a Sonic villain. And while you're
What?
looking that up, Miranda's going to tell you a little bit about Underdog Fantasy.
I sure am, because we are brought to you by Underdog Fantasy, and Underdog Pick'em has one of the biggest menus for all sports. We're talking NFL, college football, college basketball, MMA, NBA, NASCAR, and more. You can now use specials and boosts on all flex entries. We will have an Underdog Fantasy Picks video in our shorts this weekend, so stay tuned. But go sign up with promo code OFFSGPN to claim your special pick plus first-time deposit offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash. That's UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code OFFSGPN.
And Rhythm is back. That's right. SGPN's proud partner, Rhythm, is the #1 AI-powered sports betting platform that helps provide bettors of all levels the ability to build custom predictive betting models in seconds. Build your own model, copy one of the top-performing models from the leaderboard, or have Rhythm build a model for you. If the NFL playoffs haven't been going your way, Rhythm will help you turn things around. With 3 games left, the 3 best of the season, Rhythm's AI-powered predictions for prop bets and game lines will set you up for success through the Super Bowl. NFL picks, NFL props, college basketball, NBA, Rhythm's got it all. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. All right, we are back.
I'm really trying to...
Nick is siding with me.
No. With what?
With the Shaka Khan or whatever his name is, Shahid Khan, not Shaka Khan, being a Sonic villain. You're really trying to what? I'm sorry. What are you trying to do?
Bring something like energy life to me. I couldn't. I'm wearing out really fast doing this.
Well, we don't have a lot.
Not doing
left.
this.
You can
I
do
love
this.
being here. Let's like.
Yeah, we can tell, huh? After that comment, me in the chat are feeling left on read or whatever that. What is that?
Left on red.
Left
ghosted.
on red. Go. Is that? Yeah. I just know people. Oh, and blah 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 leaves you on red or whatever. I see a lot of.
I'm
memes
like
about that.
I will raise my hand right now and tell the entire world that I do that.
Does that mean you read it and don't respond, or you haven't read it? What's left you on red mean?
It means you don't have an iPhone.
No.
So this doesn't make sense to you, and this is why. If you have an iPhone and somebody texts you, it tells you. I'm gonna just pull up a chat with you and show you. It says red when they've read it.
Oh, okay. Nick saying, Mur, you are awesome. So have no fear. Mr. Fortune's got your back. Should we talk a little bets, maybe?
Maybe we should. I see you're not gonna let me finish this. But no, like
You
that's
can
what it
look
means.
it up.
I am. I mean, for me, sometimes I don't see it come in, or I do see it, but like I'll read the text.
Yeah.
But I'm in the middle of something and I can't respond. And there's so much going on that you might get a response a couple days from now.
3 months from now.
3 months later.
Ask Cody Zeeb about that.
I've been better. And
In some
I
chats.
moved his bubble up in my phone.
Excuse me. You did what?
Again, you don't
moved
have
his
an
bubble up?
you don't have an iPhone.
Cody, your bubble has
So-
been moved up. I don't know what
This,
that means, but
the bubble, the chat bubble.
the Justin and Cody chat bubble is moved up. Okay.
So I can see it.
We made the is this like your MySpace best friends
Top
list?
9.
Yeah, top
Yeah.
9. Okay. All right. iPhone still trying to catch up. They're still in the MySpace days. That's cool. It's cool. I mean,
He made the list.
he made the list. You made the top 9, Cody.
Because I was getting so much shit. If you're gonna give me shit, I guess that's how you move up.
Yeah.
Give me
right?
shit and I will fix it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. By the way, William and Mary just beat Hampton 94-83, covering the spread. If you are not going to the college experience and following Colby and Moneyline Max picks, what are you doing? You're missing out on money. Moneyline is 55 and 35 the past 3 days. That's a 20 game profit. So yeah, I tell you what I do. I go to the picks page on SGPN's website, or you can find it on the app, and I look at each game that they've agreed on and have locked, and just take those, and you're going to come out a winner. My phone just told me, by the way, if you're wondering where all that came from. Anyways, should we talk some bets while I'm talking betting?
Yeah, let's. I'm going to hand this over to you. You're going to give out your best bets. I'm going to give this to you. So I'm just going to let you take it away.
All right. I'm going to go.
People want to hear it.
People want to hear it. Apparently, I did pretty good this year picking against the spread. You're going to have to follow our shorts to hear my spread picks. But I got some prop bets for you because I've been doing pretty good on those as well. We'll go game by
I'm
game.
glad you said here.
Here? What?
To hear my spread picks.
What?
What? Nothing. Just continue.
I'm confused. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't paying attention to myself. I'm not sure what happened. I'm going to go game by game, and we're going to do a player from each team. And I'm going to start with the Philadelphia Eagles and Saquon Barkley. I know he just ran for over 200 yards, but his prop rushing number is up to 125.5 yards, and that just feels too inflated. I get it. He's gone over in 3 of the last 4 games, but one of those games is against Washington. That's what you're going to say. Oh, he already did it against Washington. I get that, but they held him to 70 yards in the first 3 quarters. Then they kind of fell apart. This is hard, but if I'm Washington, all I do is focus on stopping Saquon. I don't think Jalen Hurts can beat him in the air. Stop Saquon. So I'm going to go under 125.5 rushing yards. That's a huge amount. 125.5.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it. I'm also going to go with Austin Eckler. I've bet this guy the past couple weeks. I've told you to bet him rushing plus receiving over 47.5. He didn't play on 12-22 against the Eagles, but he did play on 11-14 and went for 96 total yards that game. I think he does it again. So hit the over 47.5 at minus 113. Now let's flip to that other game. I already said Josh Allen, Super Bowl MVP. Mm-hmm. He kind of let me down last week in his rushing yards. I will say that, but I'm betting on him to bounce back, and he's going to have over 47.5 rushing yards. He had 55 against the Chiefs when they beat them earlier this year. I think he puts up this around the same number, and he puts his team on his back to win. So Josh Allen over 47.5 at minus 114. And last bet, Travis Kelce. Playoff Trav showed up in a big way. He was targeted 8 times. He caught 7 of those. His reception number for this game is 6.5. He's gone over this in the past 2 games. He's locked in. T Swift is there to watch him. Like, oh my gosh, that's my boyfriend. Travis Kelce over 6.5 at minus 125. I mean, it's playoff Trav, and really he's their reliable weapon. I mean, I know they have DeAndre Hopkins, who's older and did not have a great game last week. I know they have Xavier Worthy, the speedy guy. He doesn't get a lot of targets, though. It's Travis Kelce. That's their offense. They're not running the ball well right now.
No, but
Patrick Mahomes will get it done. I know he'll make good plays. I mean, I don't think he's going to win, but he's going to make good plays. He's going to find guys that are open. But I think it's mainly going to be Trav that he relies on.
You calling him playoff Trav, like that's exactly it. Like that's exactly what we saw last year.
Yeah.
In the playoffs, he came back. Like he was back to form, and
yeah, no, I
that's
agree.
what he's doing again.
Now, my big question for you. I love all these bets. We parlay them together, right? We gotta. No.
You know me in parlays. I was just talking.
Miranda knows me in parlays.
I know you in parlays. It doesn't matter if you pick 4, if you pick 5, 6, 7, if your parlay is 10, or if your parlay is 25, you're going to miss 1. You rarely ever miss 2.
I know. I've had a lot of 24-leg parlay or 25-leg parlays because that's the most you can do on some sites. Missed by just 1. It's so frustrating.
And you will always miss by 1.
Well, yeah, with that attitude.
Okay.
Okay.
You have had 1 hit, but you didn't do it.
Oh, I mean, yeah. In the past, I've had a lot where it's like, all right, I wrote an article like this is what I bet for the a big parlay, and
But
then
you don't do them.
didn't
So
bet it, which was dumb. I mean, I should always believe in me. You got to believe in you, number one, because if you don't, who's gonna? I feel like that should be a saying.
who said that?
Me. You
Just
didn't hear
right
me?
now.
Yeah. And the chat kind of asking for a little
Mhm.
throwback to T Swift. Oh my gosh, that's my boyfriend. Go Trev. That's how T Swift sounds, I imagine, when she's in the little booth doing her secret handshakes with Mahomes' wife. I forget her name. Brittany. Yeah. They do little secret handshakes or whatever, like. Anyways, should we talk whiskey?
She recently, I saw, like, Caitlin Clark was at a game, so she sat by Caitlin.
Oh, yeah.
Clark.
Yeah, absolutely. Which I don't know what the tie there is.
They just wanted to see Caitlin Clark at one of their games.
I guess.
We'll put you next to T Swift.
Yeah, will you come to a game, please? Everybody in Iowa loves you. We need Iowa to root for us because do you feel like the majority of people that aren't Chiefs fans are rooting for the Bills?
I would say, yeah.
Like most NFL fans are probably tired of seeing these questionable calls go towards the Chiefs and want them to lose, I think, right?
I would say, but I would say people who are non-football fans are rooting for the Chiefs as well. Like they've got all audiences.
That's a good point because of the Swifties that came to football because of T Swift. Yeah. No, I get it.
Interesting.
It is. It is. It'll be a great game to watch. Both of them will be. That's the one I'm most looking forward to. How about you?
What?
The Chiefs-Bills game, you looking forward to that the most over the Eagles-Commanders?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. That's going to be the highest powered one. That's NFL. Should we talk a little whiskey?
Let's do it.
All right. I would like to give a shout out to the beautiful photo you took here. And why don't we remind real quick, Caitlin has been a big Chiefs fan all her life, apparently. She said her family always went to at least one game a year, so she said she's not a bandwagon fan. Well, it's easy to say that now, isn't it? I mean, we don't have any proof, unless there is proof that I haven't seen. I did zero research on this, but should we calm down on that?
Let's calm down on that.
I mean, we love Caitlin Clark. Don't get me wrong, but I want to see the proof. Miranda.
Bring the receipts.
Bring the receipts. I brought the receipts. We won't even get into that. Anyways.
Okay, we are.
Should we talk whiskey and why don't you tell everybody what we're drinking?
If you weren't with us at the beginning of the show, we are drinking and trying Cody Road's 2024 Distillers Edition. We do realize like the chance that you can go pick up this exact bottle might be tricky. But we did want to review it anyways to highlight some of the things that Cody Road whiskeys are doing. And if you're able to find it, let you know if it's worth picking up. Given that it's a 2024 edition, it is limited. We're also currently unsure if it's available outside of Iowa. But we have done reviews on Cody Road's other whiskey. Yeah. They also make a really good RTD, ready to drink, old fashioned. That of all the ones we have tried, that one is a good one. That is one we go back to. Yeah, for sure. We don't care for a lot of RTDs. It's like, might as well make it yourself for what you're drinking. But this one is two.
solid.
I guess I would say there's 3 that we would recommend.
Yeah.
Cody Roads.
Yeah.
The Keeper's Heart.
Yeah, those were the 2 I was thinking of.
And the Rock and Rye.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty good too.
Yeah. Those are the 3.
Yes.
We have tried others by some big brand names out there.
Yes.
Brand name whiskeys that I'm not a fan of.
No offense to Bullet. Don't like it.
Bullet's not the only one. It's
I don't remember some of the others. Bullet's the one that stands out. It comes in the big orange bottle for the old fashioned and not a fan.
No. But anyway,
I got to interrupt you real quick. Jamie asking, did you say Cody Rhodes, the wrestling guy? No, but I would love to get his take on Cody Road whiskey.
yeah.
I do believe he is a whiskey fan, if I remember right. Also very involved in fantasy football. He's a good dude. Somebody showed up the newest. I mean, there's Cody Rhodes. I think his dad has the same name, maybe, or his uncle, something. Anyways, somebody went to a wrestling match and held a sign, "Would you be my best man?" And he agreed. He agreed to be his best man and go to the guy's wedding just because he saw it. I mean, he's just a good dude. Anyways, neither here nor there. Go on. You
Okay.
all are getting me in trouble with all these tangents.
All right. If you have listened to us before, back in the, I would say it's been a long time since we've tried a Cody Road on our show. It was early days with us.
Sure.
Then you know that, we've reviewed Cody Road before. It's made by the Mississippi River Distilling. It's not just Mississippi River Distilling.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's located on the banks of the Mississippi in the town of LeClaire, Iowa. They're a family-owned and operated company that believes in the stewardship of land and water. And the family farm is an important part of their community, their culture, and their main focus is quality. So,
not to be confused with quality.
Quality first. The
Shout out,
Office.
I was gonna say Office reference if you don't know.
Yeah. You always have to have good quality.
Yes, quality assurance.
But back in 2010, the idea of Mississippi River Distilling started as this unique idea between two brothers, but the small distillery has grown into one of the top craft distilleries in the country. All grains that they use come within 25 miles of their distillery. I really like this. And they purchase right from the farmers rather than a broker or third party.
That's huge.
It is huge, very huge. And they bring in the grain in 25 bushels at a time. They do everything from the raw grain, processing, distilling, and bottling right there in their distillery. And then there's still, like, we've always got to talk about the stills.
Yeah.
Because they're pretty and it matters.
Stills matter.
Stills matter.
That should be a shirt.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But their still is handmade in Germany, and it provides them the flexibility to make about any distillate that they decide they want to do. So it consists of a handmade German boiling pot and 2 tall copper rectification columns.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. And the still's name, they've named it as any good distillery should do.
Agreed.
They've named it Rose.
Yeah. And it's interesting. Go to their website and take a picture at Rose,
Mhm.
but the building layout was constructed around Rose rather than put build their building, put put this in it. They built the building around it. And whether you're on the street outside looking in or you're having a drink in the tasting room, the still can always see you, or you can see it. One of the two.
It's got his eyes on you.
That's right. Rose is always watching everybody.
Oh,
One other thing we wanted to talk about, they also have a custom whiskey program, which I found interesting because I didn't know this. I don't know if they had this going the last time we talked about Cody
no, because
Road.
this doesn't sound familiar to me.
Yeah.
So I think it's maybe newer, but it has been a couple of years.
It has been,
Like we're talking early episodes of Old Fashioned Football. We did Cody Road.
And they were nice enough to send us, I believe they sent us their rye. We had their
Mhm.
bourbon already. But anyways, they have a custom whiskey program. So you can create your own whiskey, whether that's for your bar or your restaurant, or maybe you want to celebrate a big sports win. Maybe you took the Bills to win the Super Bowl and you put a lot of money on it and it hit and you're like, I want my own whiskey now. You can do that. It consists of a 30-gallon barrel of whiskey where you get to pick the grain bill, the yeast, the barrel, the age, the proof. You get to name it as well. And when it's done, you get all the whiskey in the barrel and the empty barrel to display, which is cool. They also sell empty barrels, or I think they sell them for 150 plus tax. So just getting that barrel that your whiskey was aged in is cool. It's $6,000 per barrel, which is lower than we've seen at some places.
Mm-hmm.
$3,000 payable to the distillery at the start, and then the other $3,000 is paid to a licensed retailer.
How many bottles? Like you get like 150 bottles out of a barrel.
So yeah, their estimate for an 80 proof, because if you
Mhm.
have a different proof,
then you're gonna.
you can lose more. Like
Mhm.
if it's aged longer, you could lose more. But yeah, you get roughly 150 bottles. So breaking it down, that's like $40 a bottle. That's not bad for
Mhm.
something you get to make
Especially
yourself.
like if you're thinking about a barrel, if it's not for like a company or something, you go in with people. You could do your own whiskey
Yeah.
with a group of people.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And you can create your own mash bill, or they have some already started that you can sample and be like, oh, I really like that one. And you can have that, still name it with your stuff and whatnot. And they got a ton of options for whiskeys. I'll go over some. You can cover some that I forget, but I mean, they have their bourbon, their single barrel bourbon, their rye, their single barrel rye. They always have. They also have these flavored whiskeys, which we have the honey behind us, and it's natural flavoring. It's not like they're putting artificial shit in there. This is actually
No artificial shit.
no artificial shit. They use, like in their honey whiskey, they use honeycomb from a beehive, or I guess I don't know what you call a bunch of beehives, but a place that has a bunch of bees. They use honeycomb from that in
A bee farm.
Bee farm.
I
Thank
don't
you.
know.
That's within a 20-mile radius of their distillery. But they have the honey whiskey, the maple whiskey, peach, and blackberry. So we have not had the maple, peach, or blackberry, I don't believe, but we have had the honey, and it's if you like sweet honey, you'll love it, because it doesn't taste like a whiskey necessarily. It's just this really sweet honey.
As opposed to not sweet honey? Like, what do you mean?
I just mean if you like honey, I guess. If you like honey.
as opposed to sour or bitter honey. Like
Right.
honey is
No,
sweet.
I mean, if you like honey.
Yes.
A strong honey taste. It's very,
Strong.
it's
It
a
is.
strong honey taste. What other ones am I forgetting?
They have an American malt. You didn't mention the RTDs, right?
No.
So they've got an old fashioned, they've got a Manhattan. They have an experimental series. It's aged in different barrels. They've had like beer, tequila.
Yeah, I'd love to try the tequila aged one. That's just interesting to me.
No.
No,
Maybe interesting. I don't know.
I think
I
of
don't
like a
know.
mezcal, which is like a
for
smoky.
maybe in a drink. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we drink so many of our whiskeys neat.
Yeah,
So
I
I'm
guess,
just thinking,
yeah.
no, but I guess you could make an interesting cocktail with that.
Yeah.
They have it's like Iowish whiskey.
Which is, I think, 100% corn, if I remember right.
They have the Cody Road Cyclone Fanatic Bourbon. That's
Or Hawkeye fans, but we'll forgive them.
and then like coming away, like getting away from their whiskey, because with their still like they can make all kinds of distillate. So they have River Pilot vodka, River Rose gin, River Baron artisan spirit. Then going back to Iowish, they have different cream liqueurs. They have a regular salted caramel, eggnog, amaretto. They're doing a lot of different things at the distillery.
I want to try that salted caramel cream liqueur
It's interesting.
in my coffee every morning before work.
I don't know, always do so
maybe.
well with cream liqueurs or just liqueurs in general.
Sure.
I have found one of the reasons why it was easy to get me on the whiskey and bourbon.
I thought you said raisins at first. One of the raisins.
One of the
and
reasons.
It just made me think of sorry. I'll let you finish.
Yeah, no
I
more
don't mean-
tangents. You're cut off. Like it's done.
Tangentless.
One of the reasons why I kind of went to bourbon, to whiskey, like, is it because it's pure. Like it's just a pure natural. It's not filled with sugars and artificial anything.
Right.
When I have like a liqueur or even sometimes a cocktail that has different liqueurs in it, it depends. You can get quality liqueurs that are natural, but like a lot lot I don't know, I'll break out.
Yeah,
Or I'll
have
get
a reaction
congested.
of some sort,
Like,
yeah.
So I've kind of I don't break out to whiskey. I don't get all like I can't breathe.
Thank the
but
whiskey gods.
And then one thing, we're probably forgetting some of their products too, but they're limited edition, like limited series.
Yeah.
Which is what this is. Their distillery
Yeah,
edition.
they got a lot of limited stuff. This is not on their website. Obviously, not all the limited stuff is, but on the bottle, and I pulled this directly from the bottle, so this is a direct quote. Every now and then, we come across whiskey in our barrel room that needs a home. maybe a mash bill that we experimented with, maybe one that's a little older, maybe a barrel that finished just a little different than its siblings. You're holding a one-of-a-kind blend of some of the whiskeys presented by the distillers, a unique combination of Cody Road whiskeys in a new, never-to-be-replicated blend. And this blend is 60% rye, this particular one, 30% bourbon, and 10% malt. So it's a rye, obviously, but with some bourbon and malt in there. We'll get back to the chat in a second, but let's build a taste profile here.
I am gonna rule myself out for this because
You
with
can't
not
smell?
feeling well, like everything is off. My taste is off. I don't even know if I'm smelling correctly. So I don't want to butcher this.
That's fair.
I get a little bit of caramel on the smell, but that
yeah.
doesn't necessarily go with rye.
Caramel and corn. It's like the bourbon is kind of taken over a little bit.
Mhm.
There's a little something smoky ryness to it. I don't know if that makes sense because usually ryes aren't smoky. I get that.
See, I'm not
But-
picking up any hint of smoke on this.
I just a little, just a faint hint of smoke and rye spice.
Mm-mm.
Are your taste buds working? Let's see that. While you're doing that, I'm going to read from
It's
the
going to
chat.
be off. It is just going to be off.
Well, you taste it. I'm going to read from the chat. Jamie said, Bills aren't winning. Didn't you read the script? Andy Reid faving his old team for a three-peat. February 9th is Barkley's birthday, so he'll be playing that day. Eagles won't win, but they'll make it back next season to win it all. That's an interesting take, Jamie. I like it. I don't like the Chiefs winning, but I like where you're coming from there. Bills Commanders, let's go. I have a ticket of Bills Commanders parlayed to win their each game. So basically I took it before last week's games. I took Bills and AFC champions, Commanders, NFC champions. It's like an 1,100 or 11-1 payout. And then I also have an exacta, which you can do on DraftKings. Go over there right now. Bills to beat the Eagles. And that was like, I want to say that was 16-1 or something like that. So you can pick exactas. Now I picked those a couple weeks ago before we got to this point. So those numbers won't be as good now, but I like that DraftKings lets you pick the exact, like, let's predict the Super Bowl now. So Jamie could pick Chiefs over Eagles and see what that payout is. I like it. That's probably the best one because they're both favorites this weekend. But anyways, did you get anything on the taste of this Cody Road Distillers Edition 2024?
I think it tastes good.
No,
I like
Tell me
the
what flavor you're getting. Good.
Good.
I'm getting good flavor.
No, again, I get caramel. It's sweet. It tastes sweet to me.
Yeah, the rice spice is very subtle. There's not a lot there. It is sweet.
But it's
the caramel
60%
bourbon.
rye.
Yeah, I thought it was really good in the old fashioned.
I know you said you were kind of feeling off too, but like, are your taste buds intact?
As far as I know, my taste buds are intact. Did you like it in the old fashioned?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it blended really well in that. You could taste that there was good whiskey in the old fashioned, but it wasn't an overpowering taste, in my opinion. You agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get some rice spice. I don't get. I mean, there's only 10% of the
Malted.
the malt. I don't get a lot of that. Malt usually is more of like a earthy, I think, taste. Not getting a ton of that.
I don't know if I would say that that's earthy.
I would. Yeah, not a ton of rice spice. There is some spice
like
there.
Peat is earthy. Do you know? Yeah.
Peat is more smoky.
I don't know.
I brought up that
Peat
so I
is
could.
smoky. No, peat is earthy.
Let's ask the Google.
Yeah,
here.
Google this. Malt is like malty.
Malt is malty. Okay. What does malt
Creamy.
grain?
Like, I don't know. Creamy grain.
What?
Nothing.
Creamy grain. Toasted caramel-like fruity flavor.
That's not earthy.
Like processed cereal grains. See, do you not eat earthy cereal?
No. Earthy is not to say like it's dirt, but like earthy. Dirt, grass, tree bark, trees. Like, do you know what I mean? Like
peat flavors are soapy, sulfuric, medicinal, rich, smoky, aromatic, smooth, citrus, salty, nutty, diesel, and mossy. So I guess we're both right. I've never.
Diesel.
I was gonna say I've never tasted a whiskey that I've gone
This
diesel.
that is. And if you had, you should never drink it again.
Right.
Something went wrong.
Nor have I had a whiskey that has been soapy. Now medicinal makes me think on our whiskey wheel of flavors. Old Band-Aid is one of the things. Now I never want to. Obviously, that's there because somebody tasted it in something once. I never want to taste a whiskey.
Can
that
you
tastes
imagine
like Old
being
Band-Aid.
the distiller who's like, I'm really going for that old Band-Aid flavor here?
I bet it was some professional that like somebody brought them their whiskey. They're like, here's your $1,600
Like, is
bottle of
it-
whiskey, sir. But he had dropped his old Band-Aid in it accidentally and fished it out.
That's a used old
'Cause-
Band-Aid. We're talking about just an old.
Just
He didn't
old.
say a used old, just
Um,
old Band-Aid.
I'm cracking the rye. I want to taste their rye again to kind of see. I know their bourbon is very smoky. That's one of the reasons I love their bourbon because it is so smoky. So I was just kind of curious of the rye here. See, it's a very subtle rye spice. Go ahead. And I think that's why you're not getting a huge rye coming through in this.
Mhm.
And that the bourbon may be kind of taking it over, even though I don't get the smoky from their actual bourbon that I get. I think that's why.
That's spicy.
You think so? Why is it spicy? I don't know. It's good though.
Rain is rain and snow is snowy.
Rain is rainy and snow is
This
snowy.
is the same thing as like me saying Cooper Cup is Cooper Cup.
Jamie, you'd be surprised how many conversations in our household go very similar to this. This rain is rainy. No, it's not. It's just
Perfect way to describe
life.
something is putting a Y on the end of it.
Right. Yeah, that's married life, right?
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
I think overall, like we have really enjoyed all of the Cody Road products that we have had. I think that this is a good. I want to try it again when I feel
When you're
better.
not sick. I will tell you, if you're somebody that doesn't like a lot of heat in your whiskey, this doesn't have a lot of heat. It's very smooth.
Yeah, I wasn't getting that.
But not without
I was
character.
gonna say instead of an old fashioned, we should have made hot toddies.
Yeah,
tonight.
I can make you a hot toddy tonight, but you want 100 proof.
I know
for
that was the
or
thing I was
more.
going to
This
say.
is
You
80.
do want like a medicinal proof whiskey in your hot toddy.
Yeah. This one's 80. But yeah, you want that 100 proofer
Mhm.
for sure. So the only thing else I have to add, I will go on to my tangent that I was going to go on. I thought you said raisins, and it just reminded me of a conversation, and I'll leave everybody with this so you can all think about it. But we had a conversation recently about how and this is quoting from Mitch Hedberg, I really like raisins because I like a grape that has been through things. So you all think on that? Raisins are just grapes that have been through things. Like they've seen some shit.
They're old.
They're old.
lived
They've
a long life.
aged. They've dried out. Like they've seen some shit, and that's what a raisin is. Mur, do you have anything else you'd like
I've
to
got
add?
nothing, Justin. I think we should leave on that note.
My old fashioned's almost gone. Going once, going twice.
Sold.